So I did it kind of giggle at that point, but I want to just make it very clear. And I'm going to open up a can of worms here because let's be honest. And I said at the start of the interview, I'm trans and I'm speaking for myself. So I'm an individual. So once again, I can only speak from my perspective, but I want to make it very clear that there's 2 points. So with the whole where did all this trans and non-binary come from? We have to remember that as a society, we are forever evolving, and sometimes that's in not the best ways, let's be honest, because sometimes the world's becoming something that we wish it wasn't. Also, we were in a place of not only oppression, but where people were, it's like that silence or the gag order where you can't speak up, depending on jobs and discrimination and serving for the country, whatever it may be. So a lot of people, it's been documented that were suffering in silence, and they weren't able to do what we can now because we live in a world where it's more accepted. But to piggyback over that point, I also want to make a statement that as a trans person myself, I'm shocked sometimes because I see all these people now that are under the trans umbrella. And I say the trans umbrella because that shocks me sometimes. And it shouldn't be something that's sensationalized in a circus act. It should be down to the individual. And I feel like if you hit all those points and it's meant to be, there would be less. I can understand what you're saying, but that's for the people that are adding on to the community that I don't feel are genuine.
I
I
actually
feel like that's the difference. The costume for me, because you're using that, and that is something that gets thrown around in our community, I want to specify how I see the costume because I actually agree with that terminology. And I hate when people treat being trans like a costume because they do it, but it's just not in that scenario. A costume to me is how I specified before, where people are going around saying I'm trans and they want to reap the benefits of being a trans, let's say, activist or getting jobs as a trans spokesperson, whatever it may be. And then you see them at the corner store and it's like literally like, whoa, did you detransition overnight? That's what I see as a costume. It can be a costume, but for me, this isn't a costume. I can't rip it all off. I mean,
genuinely believe that you're a woman.
100%. Do I think I'm a born female biological woman? Absolutely not. I'm a trans woman and I'm well aware that I'm not a biological woman. And I want to make that statement very loud
That's a good
because that's where it gets crossed, and where I think trans people need to come to the table is understanding that and letting biological women know that we're well aware we're trans women. And if people are out there saying anything otherwise, that's something that I don't want to back.